It's your girl Ariel, the gracious, the well-informed, the nurse bae. I'm here today with two proficient, skilled men in the realm of economic games and money talk, which will be the topic today where we'll be discussing ways to master your money, repair your credit, and build wealth through real estate. I'm here today with Ricardo Tippett and Waheem Woods. Ricardo Tippett is a real estate broker, and Waheem is a financial educator. Welcome to Grade A Talks, gentlemen.
Game time, no lame time.
Game time, no lane time. Okay. I'm happy to have you all here on my platform. I feel like, especially with everything that's going on in today's society, it's like no better time for Black people to be educating other Black people about things that they may not know as far as economic games and how to navigate through the system and come out successful. So Ricardo, I have a question for you. What motivates Ricardo?
What motivates me, from one of my children, I love my kids, you know what I'm saying? So growing up, it was a lot of things that we were miseducated on, and things in nature. So as I got older, I wanted to figure out a lot of things on my own. So even like buying a house or things in that nature, like I never knew anything about all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Nobody taught me about credit. School didn't teach me about credit and things like that. So what motivates me is just knowing more, know what I'm doing, and to just be educated in everything that I got going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. So do you feel like the mindset that you have now is like far removed from who you were, say, 10 years ago?
Oh, man, space shuttle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and that was attained by you educating yourself, by you reading.
Yes. I don't have a college degree or anything in that nature, you know what I'm saying? So I'm real idealistic. So when I see something, I want to learn about it. Yeah. It could be why a cockroach move a certain way. Like I just want to know. Like, and once you start gaining knowledge, you want more and more and more of it. You know what I'm saying? So
I know you said something that really resonated with me the other day when we were on our Zoom call. You said Black people got to get back to reading. Yes. Like Black people have to get back to reading. It's like back in slave times, they was killing us because we were so eager to read and, you know, attain knowledge. But now it kills people to read. So, yeah, that's something that's true. I feel like a lot of education is hid in articles, is hid in books.
Right.
We put so much energy towards things that don't matter the whole time. The world's still going, and we are still where we are on an economic space overall. You know, so I definitely think we need to start reading more.
Yeah, definitely pick up those books. Yeah. I got a book on my shelf for everything that I do. Yeah. If I need to resource it and go back and refresh my memory on something, I can also pass these books down to my kids so they prepared before even I was prepared for these type of things. Yeah. And just always be educated on what you want to do and on your next move, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know, what can you do?
Exactly. Exactly. That's true. Okay, so what inspired you to become a real estate broker, and what has the journey been like?
The journey has been fun. It's been fun. I've met a lot of interesting people. I decided to become a real estate broker because I wanted to help other agents first. So when I got in the game, I was with a brokerage that really kind of taught me about contracts and stuff like that. And then you go to real estate school, all they teach you about is real estate. They don't teach you how to be a real estate agent. So once I became an agent, my first year sucked. I'm gonna be transparent. I sold 2 properties. That was enough for me to say, man, this ain't me. Right. You know, but I believed in myself. Yeah. I'm a self-motivator as well. My second year, I took off. I sold enough properties to get my broker license. You have to be an agent in Arkansas for 2 years and have experience before the commission will even grant you a broker's license or the opportunity to go get a broker's license. So after that, I was like, I looked at how I got treated. I'm trying to see how I can become a better agent stuff. So I had to figure out that on my own. Right. I had a broker that told me, go pass out business cards or just have a general conversation. Real estate is a number game. They didn't tell me, Ricardo, how to network and things like that with people. So I figured that out on my own. I started doing more advertising. I've been in like 4 or 5 magazines.
Oh, okay.
Like that,
now he over here flexing. Okay, Ricardo.
But what made me get into real estate is when I bought my own property. Yeah. I seen how it go and how it was. I'm just like, for the easy part is pulling up, opening the door for people, having a general conversation. You know what I'm saying? But behind the scenes is more negotiating, a lot of paperwork, you know what I'm saying, and coordinate with the title, the lenders, and things like that, and making sure your clients staying on their P's and Q's and doing what they're supposed to do.
Okay, that's dope. Okay. Waheem Woods. let the people who don't know, which I don't know how you would not know, but in case you don't know, in case you haven't seen them Facebook Lives and all that grinding he do all year, then allow him to reintroduce himself. Mr. Waheem Woods, give us some backstory to you and what really pushed you into being a financial educator.
Man, listen. So again, y'all know me as Waheem Woods, and I just want to go in and just be transparent when it comes to everything. You know, everybody grow up different. Everybody's situation is different. So we change by things that we go through in life.
That's
you know?
true.
So with my life and my situation, I did a different path. I wasn't the smartest one in the class, and I wasn't the best one in school, which caused me to drop out of school and then through long roads down, end up going to prison. Long story short, not to just make this about a prison story, it put me in a position where when I came out, fast forward, I'm like, you know what? I want to change. I should have did right in school. Yeah. Now I'm ready to be a citizen and live the American dream. I want me a house. I want me a car. And I want me a good job. Well, the thing is, I decided I was going to go to trucking school. And I remember getting out of prison and my mom, she taking me to I-30 trucking on Covenant trucking in Arkansas. So I remember being excited going in there. I went to prison. I said, you know what, I'm finna change my life. I'm finna do something different. And I'm knowing everybody else going to trucking school. So what kind of special degrees you need to drive a truck? So anyway, I got denied. And it was an embarrassing moment for me because my mama outside, I'm doing this paperwork, and she brought me up here. She excited for what I'm finna do. But to go through that process and then get that as saying, you know what I mean, no, I can't drive a truck. You know what I mean? It was a different type of feeling knowing that I was on parole and I got to go check in with the parole officer and then do you got a job yet? So I end up getting a job at a warehouse driving forklifts, Riceland, and I thought that was it. And I'm like, I'm going to get my credit right. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to get out my mama house and leave my baby mama house, and I'm going to, you know what I mean, get my own house and stuff. But every day going to work for years, I was like, I'm doing everything right now. I'm rehabilitated. And it was like someone clicking. I'm like, I'm doing this. They go to work every day, pay your bills, okay, try to get it. So I'm like, okay, how I'm going to get credit is I'm getting denied for all this and that. So, I just remember going through that and then being on social media, and it was a guy by the name of Cedric Williams, and I remember just seeing him. He looked like me. Sometimes it take people that look like us.
Representation.
Yeah, so I see him, and he always living good and got nice stuff, and he talking like me, and I'm like, I know he ain't working in no office or nothing. He's self-made, so I remember just asking him, and then just by that network of meeting that person, that's why it's important to network like we spoke about, because just meeting that person and just getting information. Information changed my life. I realized it wasn't prison that changed my life. It wasn't, you know what I mean, the pastor that changed my life. It was information that I never knew that changed my life. And then once I started obtaining these type of information and getting around these people, I found myself in different rooms with people that they taught me that I wouldn't be in that room. You went down this road, but then I'm in the room, me, the felony, dropped out of high school, and I'm shaking hands, and they owning business and things, and they telling me you can do this. And I'm like, but you know, I'm in network marketing because I got a felony and I got this and that. Oh yeah, such and such got it. He running this, and then it's like, hold up, like you mean to tell me I didn't have to go to prison? I ain't have to try to run them plays that put me in that position because I could have got money a different way. So what really changed the game was said I'm going to show people is because I started learning this information and starting my own companies, my own business. So now I'm in, hold up now, I was working here and the trucking, let's use the trucking for example, and a lot of people know this from where I'm from. That situation I told you about, the trucking situation with my mom, and she took me. Fast forward, I was able to own my own trucking company. And be able to have drivers driving all 50 states.
That's the misconception.
And I'm giving the urine test. I'm giving the drivers and checking their background. Me, and I still got the same felony. But so it started changing my mental. And since I'm in business, I'm knowing the importance of making your money work for you that this information showed me. So then I'm seeing a lot of people, they buying homes and they foreclosing on homes, especially in the black community. And I say, why, like I'm doing this. This is what's going on wrong.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's Waheem. It was information you
Yeah.
learned, and
Yeah.
that information is not being taught in those sectors.
Yeah. It's not being taught by the masses.
By strategic design, because we make up the largest spending power.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying it like in the race. I'm speaking from where I come from.
And statistically.
So
Black
we
people,
can talk numbers. So
yeah.
exactly. So whether how we feel about it is numbers don't lie.
Statistically,
So,
Black people are the number
exactly.
one consumers, and we do not own much of anything.
And it made, and that's what really just changed me. And I felt
Yeah.
since I went where I went,
Yeah.
I owed it far as with my spiritual belief. And I'm like, now ain't no way God took me from there
Yeah.
to this, and I'm supposed to just be selfish with it when I'm getting these revenues and these incomes
Yeah.
and things of that nature.
Spread the knowledge.
So every day it's not me just saying, oh, I'm so happy I got some money. I want to show somebody else how to get
Right.
some money. I
Right.
literally feel that it's my purpose, and why God got me right here, right now, is because I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So if you just look at all of the other guys that went to prison, dropped out of high school because they chasing that dollar.
Right.
They chasing them chains and them cars.
Yeah.
But can live the same life and ride the same
Legally.
way.
Right.
Legally.
You know what I mean? But you know,
Emphasis on the legal.
it's big
Yes.
business, and that
Yeah.
just inspired me, and it's more from where I come from.
And
So-
that's inspiring of you, being like your background. Because I feel like a lot of Black men, especially, like we were talking about this briefly the other day, like 1 in 4 Black men are statistically felons. And so, you know, they automatically feel like, oh, entrepreneurship is not the way that I can do anything. Like they don't feel like they're able to get any type of like funding, et cetera, et cetera. But here you are, someone who was a felon, and you are a rich man.
I would say I'm getting there. And-
Rich in spirit, rich in knowledge.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's definitely important in education and networking and partnership.
Right.
That got you to where you need to go.
Right, and I want to piggyback right quick off something that you said. You said when people have felonies and they have these things, they think, I can't get funding,
Yeah.
I can't. But not understanding why information is so valuable, it's profitable for people to keep it from you.
Yeah.
Because as a felon, you fall in categories where loans is available for that man who just came out of prison to be able to, he wanted to start his own trucking,
Yeah.
but he failed at getting the funding,
Yeah.
so he back in the streets, but not having the right information
Right.
that he could have got that truck just by his past, because it's sector. The thing is, when the government is giving money, you know, money is dished out to different sectors.
Right.
So when it comes to government funding, it's for political agendas, meaning is this money is designed to put a new community center if you're trying to put something to better the neighborhood. And that's why you might get somebody that can get $200,000 funding, and they'll put a $20,000 park in the hood, and everybody will think, oh, we got a little park for the kids.
Yeah.
But the information not knowing they got $200,000 to get a
Wow.
$200,000 park.
Right.
But they got a $20,000
So
park.
somebody pocketing
And
$180,000
because of the lack of knowledge. The Bible said it. If you don't believe me,
Yeah.
look what the word
What
said.
the word
Now,
say,
don't-
tell
you
us.
can say, oh, he
Yeah.
dropped out of high school.
Right.
He went to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
Who is he to say anything?
Right.
Well, then just forget I said it then.
Yeah.
The Bible said many will perish through the lack of knowledge.
Through the lack of
Only
knowledge.
thing that changed my life was not a degree.
Yeah.
I dropped out.
Yeah.
I got a GED in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
I call it when they say, where you got your diploma at? I said it. State pen.
Yeah.
Maybe they could
State Penn University.
Yeah, State Penn University.
Yeah, it
I
is.
let them misconstrue it how they want to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But
Yes.
but at the end of the day, in YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so hard for me. It's hard to watch when you realize that you come from certain areas and sectors, and you like, I'm here for free.
Yeah.
From knowledge.
Yeah.
Like this person, but it also make me sit back and wonder, why isn't this taught in the school? The first thing you go for 12 years and you graduate from school on American Dream is a family standing in front of a house, which is a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Standing in front of a car,
Yeah.
which is financed by a lender with high-end interest.
Yes.
And kids growing up going to school out the house that the parents trying to fund that.
So it's a lot of debt.
everything is about loans and finances, but you never taught that.
Accumulation
because
of
it's
debt.
big business.
Yep.
Because America don't make money off people with money. They make money off
the
debt.
poor people.
America in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
They downsizing now to try to clear up some debt.
Yeah.
But
That's
they
true.
give millions and billions all over the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's the lack of knowledge. If person knowledgeable, You can't. It's hard for the government to get taxes from them.
Yeah.
Because they knowledgeable. They understand how to use the tax code to their benefit.
They can navigate the system.
That's the power of knowledge, not the person. That's the power of the knowledge. But with the lack of knowledge and so many people it make the bank say, hell, we can't win off these folks coming and cashing us out. Well, how we gonna win? We don't want the money. We want control.
Yeah.
Well, we need to win off their debt. They can't afford the car. You give them the loan and put $20,000 worth of interest on it. Then they got the house noting that they'll foreclose and they'll do this and lose the car. We'll get everything back and resell it to somebody else going through the same situation. Matter of fact, don't put that car lot in that neighborhood. That y'all sell Rolls Royces. They got the mansions. Come over here and get that buy here, pay here over here. And you go to the auction and you could just sell a raggedy car and charge them $15,000.
It's all a game.
Everything is
strategic.
It's all a game.
And when people say, Waheem, money isn't everything. Money is no. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
Money is not everything.
Yeah.
It's like the Bible said, many are perished through the lack of knowledge. But since the love of money is the root of all evil, big corporations get greed for the love of it. That's why bankers have sliding and computerized houses off the people that's losing everything. The love of it. So we can't act like you don't need it. It's a difference between the love of it and then you need it. Money is like air. You need it to survive. If you don't think you so, just stop working.
That's true.
Don't go back to work. Because what's going on now, most people are slaves to debt. That's why it's important for podcasts like this. That's why it's important for brokers and investors to be on to show you how to properly and understand. What I love about Ricardo is he don't leave no stone unturned. It's one of those, whether you like it or not. That's how I connected to him. Like, I'm going to give you the good. If it's a bad, I'm going to give you that. And you make your decision. But since he understand investing, if you don't like that, well, then let me put you over here. This might work for you.
Okay.
And that's what I like about it.
And that's another thing, guys. You know, this is a financial educator. He's an expert on like tax repairs, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the man that can fix your credit, and this is the man that can help you go get your house. So it's like these are two prominent resources right here. Y'all better utilize them. I have a question for you. If someone wants to improve their financial future, where should they start?
Okay, so first thing is I always tell clients it's a mindset. Everybody say, hey, I want a 700 credit score, but in order to get a 700 credit score requires certain type of discipline because there's certain components that you have to master to get there. So one component might tap into where your kicking it go with. But you might need that little resource to pay down this over here. So first step is understanding the reality that you in. Not looking at the TV, not looking at what nobody said. What is your reality? So first of all, when they notice what their reality is, the mindset have to understand like, okay, it's time for change. And why that's important before credit repair, because most people look at credit as score-based. When you hear somebody, I want my credit fixed, I want a higher score. Or my credit bad, I know I need my score to go up. You can do repair and somebody will say, is my score gonna go up? They thinking about the score when the mindset is important because if credit is designed to judge the general character of a person, which means if banks make money off debt, they don't know you. They don't live with you. So when you walk into that bank, no matter what you got on, how clean you look, that ain't what's going to get you the loan or the score. They going to look at the components that makes up the score. Payment history, utilization. People say, why is those things, how can they understand how you think just off your credit score? Easy. If they give you a $10,000 credit card and you spending $8,000 on it, they letting everybody else know, hey, look, don't get them nothing. I gave them $10,000. They spending $8,000. They ain't got no money in the background. They using too much our money. So when you go out of
you're not responsible.
So you gotta put yourself in position to make not you look good, make your credit report look good. So when it comes to that, open accounts. That's why you wonder wealthy and a lot of people got a stack of credit cards. It shows that they can money manage. So it shows that why utilization shows them how much you need of these credit cards. So if your utilization on 10 cards and you got $20,000 cards and you only spending a couple $100, and when you do spend, you pay it right back, you're called a debt beater. A lot of people don't know this. A debt beater is what bankers call people who know how to beat debt because bankers make money off debt. So if you that person that use your credit card and by the statement, by the date when the statement when it's time to have it paid, if you always paying it back, they can't get no money off of you because they need you to pay the minimum balance.
Mm-hmm.
The minimum balance is set on an interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to focus and make. That's why you hear a person say, "Girl, my payment card is only $25 back a month, girl. I can do this." Because they just want you to keep going. Don't do it, girl. They want you to keep going in debt. Now you so down you can't get out.
Yeah.
So now you want that new house and you trying to climb up out of that debt when you thought that $25 costing you $30,000 now.
Dang.
Now the student loans default. Now the car due. The kids got to get the school clothes. Now you're depressed because you can't do for the kids.
Yeah.
So it becomes mental.
Yeah, it does.
So your financial stability is the part of a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
It's a part of a happy household.
Yeah.
How can anybody, it's hard when you struggling and your bills due, you probably ain't got no business whooping the kids with a belt because the light bill on there due and you already frustrated about that.
You gonna take
so
it
you
too
gonna
far.
you gonna put a little bit
You
extra
gotta
more.
take it too far. Yeah. You frustrated. That's true.
Yeah.
Like when I think about when I think retrospectively to like before I became an RN and I didn't have the type of money that I'm able to make now. I wasn't like in the mood for nothing.
Right.
Like I was not my best self. I do feel like in order to be holistically healthy, you do have to be financially stable. Like there's no way you can be stable like mentally if your money not right. It feels good to wake up to have some money, and I know y'all feel good. Y'all go to sleep making money. I'm trying to get like y'all. I'm trying to get like y'all. But seriously, like you have to if you want to be a healthy person. I know people, they go to the gym and all that. Those are all important aspects, but you have to have your finances in line, especially if you got children, because you can't be selfish. It ain't just about you. Like everybody got to eat. So
everybody got to eat.
That's very true. And I have another question for you. Being that you are a real estate broker, what are top 3 things every first-time home buyer should know?
Well, the first things I think a home buyer should understand, what he just touched on first, your credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to play a big part in the purchase of your property. And once your credit is right or whatever, you can figure out your budget. Because you might have great credit utilization, good income coming in and things in that nature. But, you go to the bank, they approve you for a $200,000 house, but your budget might say I can only do a $150,000 house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out what you can afford as well, and also what you signing up for.
Yeah.
So some of us, we get to the closing table, we got a 70 sheet stacked on top of each other, ain't reading nothing. Just signing up. You know
They
what I'm
want
saying?
that picture. They want that picture with that buyer
That's
key.
true. Exactly. So you
telling
need to know what you signing yourself up for.
Yeah.
When I'm sending out paperwork, you need to read it. You have the people that, they eat sign before you can even blink.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Again, black people, we gotta read. We gotta read.
So, and location. Location is everything. That can even make the difference on your loan. So like a USDA loan, you can get a 0 down versus the city. If you want a house in the city, you might have to pay 3.5% down. And a lot of things can be negotiated behind the scenes. Like I tell people, like if you go in a house and you see it needs new flooring or something like that, don't let that discourage you if you fell in love with that house.
Yeah.
We can negotiate things behind the scenes to get a flooring allowance possibly. And the seller's paying for that.
Yeah.
They're giving you this extra closing cost. So some people don't even know about closing costs.
Yeah.
You got your down payment. On top of that, unless you got a grant or something in that nature to help you with your down payment, Arkansas Department of Finance Authority gives up to $15,000 for, I think it's $10,000 or $15,000, somewhere in that range for down payment assistance.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
It's a 10-year second mortgage.
Okay.
So it's still another payment. It'll be a cheap payment, probably like a credit card payment or something. So I tell a lot of people, go knock that out. You know what I'm saying? It's a second lien on your property.
Yeah.
And then once you get all of that done, you basically heading to the closing table.
Yeah.
And we wrapping it up. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up.
Dope.
What trends are currently shaping the real estate market, and how should investors adapt?
It's a lot of different trends, and you got to keep up with what's really going on. With inflation going on and things of that nature right now.
Yeah.
It has the rates sky high. So it's more buyers than properties on the market right now, which creates some challenges or whatever. So, like right now, you might not get the exact property you're looking for because, like when COVID hit, we had rates down in the twos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we playing bidding wars on all properties and stuff like that. Now, when they raise, it's vice versa. Every buyer wants to come in and shoot a low price for the properties, and sellers just not going for that. So it's creating a lot of frustration trying to buy properties on the buyer side. On the investor side, they going head first.
Yeah.
Because it just got to make sense for the numbers for them. You know, it ain't got to be the credit and all of that type of stuff, you know, because when you're utilizing private and hard money lenders, it's a different game than versus you going into a bank and obtaining a loan that way.
Yeah.
So, investors, they like I said, it's a numbers game, so they come in, they already have their plans together. They know how much the cabinet's gonna cost. They know how much the new sink in the kitchen gonna cost. They got all their projects together. So when they look at that house and see everything that it needs, they know what it's gonna cost them to rehab it.
Okay.
So once they put all that together, they're gonna know how much they're gonna get once their property sells. Possibly they got their minimum number and they got their maximum number that they'll take and stuff in that nature. So, but they utilize a lot on foreclosures. I've sold foreclosures; they are a headache, but I have sold.
Why do you say they're a headache? Why are foreclosures a headache?
This dealing with asset managers.
Okay.
So they actually banks want us to do more work than we usually have to do on a regular traditional deal. They very like, I ain't gonna say strategic, they strict.
Yeah.
They're strict. They're real strict on things. So some houses, when I'm doing foreclosures, I have to go out there every week and take pictures of them.
Wow.
Just to make sure ain't nobody broke in and everything's still intact.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, they get real strategic on that type of stuff. And like a lot of my investors out of California, they're investing in Pine Bluff.
Wow.
I have investors that own 70-some properties in Pine Bluff right now. So they come in, buy those properties for dirt cheap, and nothing really discourages them. They look at, it could be a house that caught on fire.
Yeah.
To them, okay, I'm finna get this for cheap.
Because that's a property.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna Section 8 it. So the more bedrooms, bathrooms, stuff like that, the more they can get on Section 8. And of course, Section 8 for show money coming in every month.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
Me. That's 2025 me.
That's 2025 you?
Pine Bluff market.
Yes.
2025 you? That's what you're looking into, like the markets?
Yeah, Section 8.
Section 8 markets.
8s,
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. And I do have another question for you as well. What should people do if they owe back taxes and are facing an IRS audit?
Okay, so definitely, I say this as well because tax planning is what I like to do a lot with my clients. And to understand, I tell people tax planning is one of the most important parts of building wealth. And tax planning is just a financial analysis of your financial situation. Yeah. The income and outgoing money. But the goal of tax planning is to achieve tax efficiency. Right. Tax efficiency is paying no more in taxes than legally you are required. So I tell people all the time, if you, let's say for example, if a person have not filed in years, some people be like, I haven't filed, I haven't did this. Well, if you work jobs, if you ever got a W-2 and didn't file it, the IRS know because you won't receive a W-2 unless that company filed their taxes. Right. Just the IRS know that you probably don't have assets at the moment and things. They like to see maybe one day you will have something that we can put a lien on it. So I tell people, and good thing with people that owe back taxes, sometimes you ride in the car and you hear the radio and they say, you owe back taxes to the IRS, and you call us. And that them commercials is kind of important because how they work is they are funded by the IRS. Wow. It's all about money. So the IRS basically like, dang, they ain't gonna pay me more money, man. We gotta get some money out of them somehow. Right. Well, let's create these companies, act like they a third party company trying to help because we ain't giving them no discount. Right. So we don't want them to call and think we the IRS. We want them to stay scared of us. Yeah. But we gonna have these companies and they non-profits. Yeah. We gonna fund them and blast it all over the radios so we can at least collect what we can.
So it's like a collection agency.
Yeah. So when they do, what they do is they file your taxes for a small fee, and basically is they file all your years and whatever you would have owned the IRS is called a debt relief program because you can get it wiped out or pennies on the dollars for that one time. Yeah. So you know what I mean? And I tell people you want to take advantage of that. If you have unfiled W-2s or unfiled forms, because going back, you could put those in and you can owe a substantial amount, including penalties for, late penalties and things of that nature. Yeah. And then on top of, with the IRS changes and the firing, a lot of the backed up of trying to get things done, you can take advantage of these type of companies. Yeah. And these companies will do it. And they set up payment plans and things. I think when I did it, I was one of those ones before I got in the game. Remember, I went the other route first. Right, yeah. So when I first, so I started just doing business, not understanding is I'm looking at it like I'm finna start right now being that good American. Yeah. Not thinking that past, when they say it's gonna come back and get you. So
Like, hold on, you gotta take care of this first.
So I'm thinking because I never did and I filed, so it's all good. You know what I mean? And not knowing the IRS reminded me like, hold up, player, we put a hold on all this. Yeah, you ain't getting nothing then. We got you now. So I tell people is utilizing that is important. And again, like he say, when it comes to home buying, and I'm gonna just say this, everybody want to purchase a home. But you have to understand there's one critical part in purchasing a home to make it happen. And that's the tax return. They don't care if your credit score is a 850. It could be a glitch in the computer and gave you a 950. And they don't know what that is. They still got to see. The underwriter got to look at that paperwork and say, okay, that's why it's called a pre-approval. So you won't get it misconstrued. So they saying, okay, your credit score looking good. You look like somebody we trust. You pre-approved.
But we got to dig a little deeper.
Now how much money you want? Well, that house costs $500,000. So let me see the tax returns, good credit score. But, well, you know what I mean? Tax time come. Everybody want a big refund, correct? So they utilize their businesses and they utilize deductions, what brings it down. Well, now they in the process of saying, hey, I want to buy a home. I'm tired of this. And now when they go to Ricardo, they get everything started and rocket, but then they run into that lump right there.
What's the lump?
That lump is now let me see them tax returns. That's why I say the mindset is more important when going to get your credit fixed. Why? Because who's getting their credit fixed if they're not trying to accomplish some kind of financial goal?
And that's a lot of different things that they're going to ask for. They're going to ask for, they're going to dig in your life history.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So their house.
They're going to look at your bank statements, your tax returns. A lot of they gonna pull your background. You don't even know that they're gonna pull your background. You know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. So, and even just hitting on the investor stuff that we were talking about. You know, I forgot about subject too. So,
oh yeah, man, this boy.
The investors are now. I have investors in my phone right now that are utilizing subject to, and they really capitalize off of people just being in a financial bind. So you know, houses are in pre-foreclosure or heading to foreclosure, either one. And they create these deals. So let's say somebody owe $10,000. They ain't been paying on their house. They ain't got the income for it or whatever in that nature. So the investor comes in. He pays that $10,000 to catch them back up. He keeps it in their name. That's kind of the downside of it for the person, the homeowner. But he keeps it in their name, but it restores their credit because he's going to be the one making the payments now. And it usually gives them some kickback so they can go ahead and move to, you know, a rent house, apartment, or whatever. They're going to throw a couple thousand or whatever in your pocket so you can move forward or whatever. So it's a lot of that going on. Some lenders allow, you got to be careful. Some lenders allow it, some don't. So if you have a lender that doesn't allow it, you can get in trouble for that. And it's called acceleration. So they find out, and that's something that you didn't read in that stack of papers I was talking about earlier. That can accelerate it. So if you owe $100,000, they find out and you violate that, they call that $100,000 due on. It's due. You know what I'm saying? They accelerated it, and it's due now. You know what I'm saying? So.
It's dope, and I'm glad he brought that up because even saying that with subject to, it brings us. We talk credit and we talk, you know, the importance of credit when purchasing a home, but also the knowledge of not knowing, of understanding the importance of understanding creative financing. So creative financing is for the people that got bad credit, the people who has no credit, the people who has no money. And that's important because when it comes to a real estate investor like me, as a real estate investor, it's easy for me to get other people money because I'm not looking for that beautiful house that's all put together that they want the market price for. I'm looking for that house that's a problem. I'm looking for that house that's sitting next to that pretty house. And let's just say this house is, let's say this house is on the market for $100,000. But if these houses in this neighborhood, which Ricardo put me on to understand, and after the repairs, let's just say the house is $100,000. But it got potential once fixed after repairs is $300,000. So let's say the repairs to get it back up to that is $50,000. To get the house back worth $300,000. So that leaves $150,000 of equity. So that's a problem it's a problem that I can solve, even if I don't have the money. Because we look at equity. So if I can get this house for $100,000, and after the repairs, and I already got the contractors already rocked the goat, and you know the paperwork proves this, then the private money lender will give me the money based off the deal. They don't care about my credit.
Yeah.
They don't care about whether I got a felony or not. All I need is an EIN number and an LLC.
And their terms is more flexible.
And their terms is more flexible.
Wow.
So the thing is about it is people, and they don't teach us this, that you don't need money to invest in real estate. You need a deal.
Yes.
That's what you need. You need a deal. That's the
Facts.
reality. We see,
Facts.
and that's an example for, like we talked about, owner financing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is no credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like this is mind-boggling because I'm telling you guys, that's why it's so important to have you all here, because this is stuff that I didn't even know, because I look at so many people, I'm like, oh my God, like these people are so young, like buying all these properties, like how are you doing this? Because a lot of them didn't come from money, and like you all said, like you got to find a deal.
Yeah, you got to find a deal. Now, and guess where all the deals at? The deals in the hood. Why you think he said? You heard what he said? Well, when we think of Pine Bluff as a place to be, we might not think so good of it. You know what I mean? But for an investor, it's a gold mine, because it's like the stock market. I'm not looking to buy high.
I'm looking to buy low and build.
And the rental market is high.
And man, so if I look and say, oh, they got the Sarah Casino. I know dang on well them folks ain't do their proper due diligence before they came and realized that this ain't the place right now.
Yeah.
So, but if you coming and then you building the fire stations and you doing all this, I know, now you generating a whole bunch of money for the town. So I want to buy low.
Right.
And later, because it ain't about us all the time. When you got kids, it might be, this deal might not even be profitable to 5 years from now, but in 5 years, your kid can be 18 or 21 years old. Now they cash flowing $10,000 a month.
Right. And then off that first deal, we call it the Burr method in real estate. It's buy, rehab, rent, buy, rehab, rent,
and repeat.
Refinance and repeat.
Okay.
So it's Burr, like BRRR?
Yes, yes. So off that first property, they go buy the property. They rehab the property. They put a renter in there. So most good investors are going to already have some equity in that property once they put a renter in there. So once they got that renter in there, they got some income coming on that property. They're going to refinance that property and pull the equity out of it and just keep repeating that process till they got a pipeline of rentals.
Wow.
With bad credit. With dropped out.
With felony.
But remember what they teach you and show you on career day at the school. They got the fireman, they got the doctor, they got the police, they got the construction worker.
They don't got nothing about entrepreneurship.
They ain't got Ricardo up there.
Right.
They ain't got me up there.
Yeah.
But them the people that need it the most.
Right.
And public schools in certain areas is filled with, you know what I mean, our race.
Yeah.
And then if we really trying to help a race, you have to look at what is the problem with the race. When we think about violence, guns, robberies, everything boils down to money.
That's poverty.
That's poverty, which is strategically created. That's why you would never. That's why in every town, everybody say, and there's no race involved. But in every town, if you ride, we talk. If the kids and you see certain houses, you say, oh, this the white folk neighborhood. And then when you go in certain areas, you say, oh, this the black folk neighborhood.
Where you start seeing the liquor store, the gun store, the churches,
and strategically designed because. But even though we in the hood, we just have to learn is what makes if we all human, what makes us over here act this way differently than how they act this way over there.
Mindsets and opportunities.
Yeah. So what we do is we supposed to take leaders and create opportunities within the community, not waiting on nobody, not worried about what
not trying to move to the suburbs,
what they cutting off or what they finna do with this package or that package. We have to train leader. That's why I say too much is given, much is required. That's why again, I love leaders of the community. I love churches, but I just believe one thing we don't understand the depthness of when they say much is given to much is required. Meaning many are called, but few are chosen. That mean in the aspect like, hey, you doing a good job, but that's cool. But what I need to be done, only few are chosen now. Because a lot is required. That's why we get on these podcasts. That's why we give free game. That's why we do this, because as much is required for that. And when you do it that way, you just be blessed by default. Your mindset is a good mindset. And money is a default of a good mindset. Meaning no matter what.
Yeah.
You don't focus on money. You focus on you. You focus on your mindset.
And a lot of people just worry about the wrong things, man. Like they say, like you said, that's a white neighborhood, or the government giving all the Arabian people this money to start the gas station, all that type of. Like we all have the same resources we can utilize out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying some things ain't fair on the other side than they are on our side, but like you ride through that white neighborhood. And you understanding that ain't where you came from,
right?
You know, so you looking at that like Pawpaw or Grandma knew to leave $1 million life insurance policy behind to put their properties and material possessions in a trust, so families not arguing about it and everything when all that stuff go down.
Right.
And so, like the Bible says, a wise man leaves wealth for generation and generation after generation. So, and that's what people really got to understand, like. It ain't about what you always see, because you can anything that you can see, you can have too.
Man, for real. Reality, man. We just gotta face reality. We too busy divided and going against each other. Oh, y'all better stop going to these people that ain't got no degrees. Yeah. Y'all better stop going to these people just but not even realizing that in this world that control is so powerful. Yeah. That man, that's why the Bible says the last shall be the first, and the first shall be last. But we don't never want to accept the old Wahim or somebody that can't bring me in your church because I came from the last. So we pick and choose, and we put ourselves in predicaments as if that's part of God's plan. Yeah. In reality, it's part of our plan. Yeah. Where you at in life, where you sit today, is a direct result of your decisions that you make in life.
That's true.
Ain't got nothing to do with the God. Yeah. Ain't got nothing to do with the devil ain't working because they came and picked up the car. Yeah. You couldn't afford the car. The car was too much interest on it anyway.
Blame everything on the devil.
But then when I get the new car, thank you, God. Yeah. Thank you, God, for giving you a car that was $10,000 and God, they put $20,000 in interest on it. And they charge you $20,000 more for having bad credit.
And I think that's something that you were speaking about on the Zoom meeting when you was talking about a lot of us in the community are slaves to everything else that like doesn't matter. Like slaves to materialist things, all the liabilities. Like you said, something about a person being invested in a car. Some people are working to pay for a car primarily, and like you said, a car's like value depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. Yeah,
the lot. Y'all get the same car they finance, go to the auction and get it for $1,000. They get it, go put it on a lot and finance it to you for $10,000 while the lender put another $8,000 on it.
So I think a lot of our people are okay with looking like they having money instead of actually having money.
Because the system is designed to play on emotions.
Play on emotions,
businesses capitalize off that too because they got insurance on you making a mistake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even when you buy a house, like unless you putting 20% down, you're going to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance. Yeah. So if you don't pay for that house, the lender getting paid either all or a portion of what that property is worth. Outside of that, they're going to come back and write it off on their taxes. Right. They making plenty of money. They can write that off too. That's crazy. Then they're going to send it to a creditor and make more money.
That's crazy.
Just like if somebody got a collection on their credit. Now here it go. You went to AT&T and you had a bill. Something happened in life. You couldn't able to pay it. Yeah. Now it went into default. Yeah. They write it off. Yeah. That's a bad debt on their taxes. The debt gone. That's why they call it zombie debt. Zombies come back from the dead. Yeah. So what they say is it's a big hustle because they write it off. The taxes is done, and then they turn around and say, "Hey, look, man, I got 1,000 bills over here that somebody didn't pay. Oh my goodness. I can't do nothing with them, but I got the paperwork. When you hit them up, they gonna remember it. You can make you some money off of it.
That's
Each
crazy.
one of them owes $600. Just tell them give you $300. Everything be good.
Right.
And then they say, "Oh man, Wahim, they calling me about this collection bill." I say, "Who calling? Where you get the bill from?" Yeah. AT&T. Who calling you? ABS Collections.
Can't you like buy that for like pennies on the dollar?
I got a collection company that help with my trade lines, and I can go to the same company. All they do is buy debt, the paper, and use foreigners overseas to cold call all day. Wow. Look up the information. This is why you think when you people call, it's a foreign person.
Yes.
They buy thousands of dollars worth of paper, and they have them go through it, calling everybody, harassing them.
Oh my goodness! Again, like you said, your mental peace. You better get that money together, boy. You're gonna be stressed out here.
And it's because they make more money off you being broke than you make. Than you think about it. It's more expensive than a person get more money spent. It costs more for them to die than it is for them to live on how we living.
Yeah, that's true.
We think that's why you take a Section 8 place, strategic design apartment complex, $20, $30 a month for rent. Ain't nobody saying don't take that. That's wrong. I'm saying it's wrong because as a black man, I should believe in my people strong enough to know is like, listen, you here for better than that. Because if you paying $20 a month of rent, the fear of the news, which wealthy own, putting all this, no opportunity. That girl that can be a model, a $1 million business owner, she'll never do that because she look at it like in your community, what most people going to work to handle? Renting a car note. If you take anybody right now that's working a job and you say that they ain't got to pay no more rent, they can live for free and no car note, they'll cuss the boss out and walk off the job. They don't need them no more.
Make them real comfortable.
So the reality is we working we enslaved to pay for liabilities,
bills.
That's why it's so important to understand and us to give this communication without kickback from the same color of people that's trying to help. We get so and when the spirit works is this. When you operate in a spirit where it's time for you to break from, somebody come give you some game and you get to feeling some type of way, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You just got to rebuke the spirit.
Yeah.
Because that spirit been chilling in there so long, that spirit of poverty, that spirit of stressed and depressed.
That lackluster spirit.
And he laying down and then here comes somebody talking about, you ain't got to, hey, get up.
Right.
He all up in it, don't believe that and the kill that.
Because they don't got comfortable. A lot of people get comfortable and complacent with just not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because it don't take much to not do nothing.
It don't take
It take a lot to get out here and grind and try to better your stuff. Yeah, you gotta sacrifice a lot.
And that's why the apartment buildings say, we'll give you stay here. But if you stay here, even though we want the American dream as a family, we won't let you do this if he come stay here. We know that's your baby daddy now.
Yeah.
You want this $20 a month rent or you want your baby daddy?
Yeah, it's all
baby daddy got a felony every time he go fill out a job and say, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Please explain. He look around at everybody else in there. He know they ain't been convicted of a felony. What's his chances of getting that job?
Exactly.
So now he over there and then his girl, he can't help. So she like, look, you got to go because she financially struggling and feeling he ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
So now he back up in the streets and now she talking about him on Facebook.
I was looking at something on social media one day. One of my partners had shared. It was like, man, your own people will tell Moneybag, yo, happy birthday, but won't even share your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know Moneybag.
Yeah, they don't even know Moneybag, y'all. That's real.
Listen, man.
People be more supportive of strangers than people they saw grow up.
Y'all ain't lying.
That you done like ate with, laughed with. You done seen, started from the bottom. Like, seriously.
You shouldn't even have to ask your own people to share your stuff.
You should not.
When you doing something positive.
When you're doing something positive,
I see it
but
all
that's
the time.
that crabs in a barrel mentality.
That is, man. I see it all the time.
Jealousy, envy.
Because you know how the algorithm allows you to see when people comment on somebody's
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. The algorithm messy.
I see all the time. Like, people will watch my lives, but go on somebody else's stuff and call them to go.
Yeah.
But
and they not even doing what you're doing.
They
probably.
ain't even doing. I'm giving it free.
Yeah.
They have to pay for a $2,500 mentorship to get what I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
giving you step by step.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
But he ain't got no high school diploma.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. I got the knowledge of understanding.
Yeah. But that's a detractor. You cannot let detractors deter you from your goals.
Oh, no, for
like
real though.
you know that you are well informed, that you guys are experts in everything that you're talking about. Y'all it just pops into y'all head subconsciously. We weren't even talking about subject to it. And you was like, that made me think about something. Like you all are well aware of what you're talking about. So
when we pulled up, me and him looking at the building down the street on the same thing.
Yeah, we
Yes.
You feel?
Like even during the Zoom meeting yesterday, I took like 100 notes, like just in my notes app on my phone of like various things you all were talking about. Like you guys were talking about shelf businesses.
Shelf courts.
Can you elaborate on that for people who don't know? Because I thought that was amazing.
Okay, so real quick, see the things is what the wealthy use is kind of things that they don't teach us about. We think that in order to get what you need to do a lot of times is you got to start from the bottom.
Right.
And you got to work your way to the top, which that can take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Well, what a lot of wealthy do is they use what they call shelf companies. The reason why they better known as shelf companies, shelf corporations, LLCs, because they're sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
They're not being used. They're sitting there aging. Why is aging is important? Because most lenders, and when it comes to funding, they want your EIN to have at least 2 years of age in the game to even consider you credible. But then, so when a person can have an idea to say, hey, I want to get funded and start a tech company and get $100,000. You go start a LLC on Monday, and then you got a long ways to go for that.
Yeah.
But if you could, I can go buy a tech company that's already the name of a tech company that don't nobody got that's sitting in a private state.
Yeah.
I can purchase that and transfer that information to me. But since it's sitting in a private states got strict laws of publishing beneficiaries' personal information.
Yeah.
And that's why wealthy flock to private. Long story short, if me and Ricardo went and started a business, he say, I'm starting mine today, and then in 60 to 90 days, I'm finna go get some try to get some funding with a fresh business. But if I go buy me a 10-year-old business, that's already 10 years old age, I already got everything, even a commercial address for 10 years.
Yeah.
Then when I won't even move that business even out of that private state, since it's a private state, which they got banks and everything, I'm gonna keep it there.
Yeah.
So now I can switch over behind the scenes in the private.
Yeah.
So now I've been owning the business for 10 years.
Yeah.
So now when Waheem established, and I can get different trade lines or backdated lines or added. So now it even give credit score.
Yeah.
So now I'm the prime candidate for the funding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a great way, but it's not a popular. That's something I don't give to my basic mentees if they learning.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, so
I just want to know you're welcome.
reason being is
I kind of slipped that in there. Y'all welcome.
because it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But again, it could be I've seen it hurt people more than good because you get somebody. Because remember, I always tell you it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
So you can shortcut the process and get $150,000. But if you ain't never had $150,000 before, then what? And most people I can identify if they finna crash out or mess up the money.
Yeah.
If somebody say Waheem, come to you and they say, Waheem, I want to get funding. What do you want? What you trying to do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a trucking company or whatever and get started. Well, there's certain things that can take place before you make it to me.
Right.
And that's important to take place.
That's
so
important.
that allows me to know that you don't have the structure. And what happens is when you get the money, it's harder to handle and wait on certain things to get done and wait to get, mailed back when you got $150,000. You ain't never had it before.
Exactly.
So now you gonna get, now it's over with.
Yeah.
You go on and kick it. We already know what the rest is. And now you coming back saying, man, I'm trying, I need my credit clean.
Yeah. But you've been all on social media flexing.
Yeah, flexing. With
All on the beaches. Got them chains.
Even most wealthy people don't even like the income coming to them.
Right.
Because they can get taxed as earned income. So, I know wealthy people where, like I said, I'll sit down and talk to them. They don't label themselves as millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, things like that. They're all worried about their net worth and the assets that they can utilize.
We the one calling them millionaires.
I like equity. I like the word.
They worried about the assets. They utilize their assets to go to get more assets and stuff like that. And that's how their net worth increases. Just like you can see somebody like Shaq who buys car washes and movie theaters.
Restaurants.
Like when you see that, Shaq might have $10 million in the bank, but his net worth $500 million.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying? So, and that's the thing about it. Like they don't like to label themselves like that. They kind of like to stay behind the scenes as well. And I even learned that in real estate school. Like even people with a certain status, they give them the opportunity not to even put, if they want to put their property in their name, they might go on the alias of John Doe.
Yeah.
They don't like for you trying to figure out what they
how
doing,
much
where
money they got.
going on,
Yeah.
And that's why I say with them private like this, because what a lot of wealthy people do when you hear people say holdings company and thing, they create anonymous holdings in a private state, which you know what I mean, and have a registered agent or a nominee on there, which is not their self, but so they control it in the background. Then that anonymous holding company are owned a corporation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it keeps so much layer of protection that a lot of companies, I tell people even on my lives, I say I can be having a company that's you utilizing a service right now, think you going through somebody else and it could be me.
Yeah.
Most companies that I know of have their registered agent as their financial advisor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one that's the person that's paying their bills for them. All that stuff it goes to their office. They don't even see it. They might call, say, hey, how much in there?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I use a registered agent, and we set up with the bill pay when it comes to certain things with the company. Because Waheem don't own nothing. I say own nothing, control everything. You know what I mean? And that's the
like a boss.
Yeah. I tell people if I make $300,000, $400,000, I immediately go put it into a property that even if I ain't gonna do nothing with it, because I'd rather have equity than money.
Right.
Eggs going up. If you sit your money in a bank, you losing.
Yeah.
Every year, you ain't no such thing. I'm finna save 50,000.
Not today, especially when they can control the inflation rate and the
exactly.
Yeah, the value of the American dollar is slowly depleting.
Sit in the bank and utilize the IRA or CD or something.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying? That's better than
Yeah.
the savings account. You know, even with an IRA, like you can have it up to, I think you have to at least have it 5 years. And after 59 and a half, you can pull that money out tax-free.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Oh, my goodness, that's crazy. Okay, I have a question about you. I said about you, for you. Not about you. Hold on, my bad. I'm not going to get into your business. My bad. Okay. How can entrepreneurs and small business owners better manage their taxes?
How entrepreneur utilizing softwares, CRMs, such as things like QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a vital part of my business because it keeps up with things for me. For example, if you got a business credit card, whether it's a business debit card or whatever, it's hard when you swiping it and when you got to keep up with everything and get back to the house. But when you got systems like QuickBooks, things like that, you able to sync that credit card or that business or multiple ones to that. So every swipe from that card is going in, but that and it also based off the swipe, with it being AI, it helps categorize that expense for you based off the industry that you in, and also pay your state and local taxes and things of that nature. And I tell people like, put tax on your products and services, because that's another way a lot of wealthy get rich. If you go purchase something, they want $10 for the product, but when it's done at the total checkout, it's $10, it's $11, it's $12 and something. Well, because they got to pay taxes. But they say, why should I pay the taxes and they can pay the taxes?
Right.
So now when you pay the money, they paying the taxes, the payroll, they're paying the taxes. But at the end of the year, the company taking deductions, and they been getting income for the whole year, and you've been paying the taxes.
So now they ain't got to pay them taxes.
They get the money back. Your $2 and stuff times 1,000. They get it back at the end of the year to go invest some more in their business.
And even crazy. Real estate agents do the same thing.
Yeah.
On our contracts, when we doing listing agreements, you know what percentage that you're going to charge to sell that property or whatever else.
Yeah.
You also have a spot to put your professional fee. You calculate how much tax is going to be on that commission and make that your professional fee. So you once it's time to do your taxes and stuff like that, you've already accounted for that.
Wow.
Dope.
That is like,
That's dope.
That's crazy to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have another question. What are some underrated investment opportunities in real estate that people should explore?
I would even say becoming a first-time home buyer. So when a first-time home buyer, like the lender will let you get up to a fourplex. So you can start off with a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex, whatever you want to do. I know some that do 6 months. Majority of them do a year. You have to stay in that property for a year as your primary residence. But you've created, like say if you have a fourplex, you've created 3 other units that are actually paying for that property and also creating some residual income for you. And all you had to do was stay in this property for a year. So now, once you got your year out the way, you're using that money that you're making to now go buy your property that you actually wanted or whatever you want to do next. Like you can make it a short-term rental, long-term rental, whatever you want to do with it. So that's one thing I would say people can utilize on first-time home buyers. But like we was touching on earlier, like utilizing private and hard money lenders when it's time to invest in a property. Like everybody don't want to buy a house.
Yeah.
You know, some people like staying in apartments or paying rent or whatever.
Do you understand it? I'm saying, do you understand why some people would want to do like apartments over? Like, why do you think
They don't want
that?
the responsibility.
The responsibility.
Because you become a homeowner, you got to make sure that grass cut, that roof good, that HVAC system.
You ain't got no maintenance man just coming.
So all this is expenses coming out of your pocket. But even having a home-based business, you can make that a write-off. I mean, all the maintenance that you had to do at your home.
Yeah.
So just moving forward on that. That's another thing that I would say. Land. You know, me and you done touched on this before.
Yeah.
So I tell people you can buy land. For one thing, me and Mr. Woods have discussed.
Yeah.
You can buy land. Get with some builders. Every one of them ain't gonna budge.
Right.
But get with some builders. You can go buy some land for cheap. I mean, there's land out there for a while back, it started at $300 for a lot. You know, so somewhere now you might spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a lot. But anyway, you buying the land, you're finding a builder that's going to do the project for you. So you just accumulated the land. The builder's coming in doing the project, and once that property is built and sold, you all are sharing the income that property made. You know, he might want a little bit more than you get off of it because he put his all into it.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. You can buy land and utilize the timber on it. Some people get the timber cut down on it.
Yeah.
You got to get it tested to make sure the timber company ain't getting over on you and saying that your product ain't that good or whatever. But just Pine Bluff right up the street, they need trees. They need to make paper. You know what I'm saying? So you can buy land, just utilize the timber on it. Like you ride down the street, you see people planting Christmas trees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of different things you can do. People charge to fish on their land. Yeah. You can lease it out and let a group of people put a hunting lodge on it. Yeah. Like, there's so many ways you can utilize it.
My grandmother, and my grandfather passed away, and he left her like a lot of land, and she lets people do trail rides on it. And we know how y'all love them trail rides. So I want to thank y'all for y'all sacrifices and keep filling my grandma's pockets up with that because that's important.
And there's one more thing that I'm going to add. Like, don't always get discouraged by your credit score. Yeah. So I've met people that got money but don't got credit. Yeah. So we have lenders that go down to a 500. Yeah. When you down there around that point, you might have to bring 10% to the table. Yeah. You know, you get a 580 or better, you bring a 3.5%. So you want $200,000 house, that's $7,000. You know, off top, you got to bring to the table. And then when you get like to 620, 630s or better, now you can utilize the down payment assistance, the zero down loans. A lot of lenders have different products. First Security Bank has a First Steps program for people to get a zero down conventional, because FHA and government loans are more strict on safety and the condition of the property and things of that nature. So you get the conventional loan, they don't really care about all of that. Like, you might fall in love with a house and they got a foundation crack. Yeah. But FHA ain't going to prove that, but a conventional loan might be, it's okay, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because you have did your part, and you might just want to go in and fix that yourself. You got the money to do it yourself, so don't always let the credit deter you, you know what I'm saying? Even private money lenders, hard money lenders, they lend on mortgages too, you know what I'm saying? So the deal makes sense to them. They might have higher interest rates than a bank or a regular lender will give you, but they'll do it too. They just gonna get more money off of you.
Okay.
Right. No, for real.
That's crazy though. Like, I never knew it was that deep. I feel like y'all so much growner than me. I'm like, I feel like a little kid sitting there talking to some grown men.
Been through some things.
I'm just taking it all in. Y'all OG. I have a question for you, Ahim. What are some key tax reductions and credits that people often overlook?
Okay. A lot of I know a lot of self-employed people, especially coming from our area. Yeah. I think a lot of people get it misconstrued with business. They think in order to be in business, you must have a LLC, some kind of EIN, and all of those type of things. But that's false. Yeah. The RS standards is in order to be a legit business, you must have a product or a service with the intentions to make a profit, and that's considered as a sole proprietorship. So even if you don't have a LLC, EIN, we get taught that these make you business, but those are just the entities is just taxed. Yeah, that mean is whatever LLC lets the RS know is that this is a limited liability company, mostly used for asset protections. The money, if it's made $1 million, the $1 million is passed through the entity to the owner, and then he responsible for the taxes, just like a single person. You know, compared to other different ones but deductions mostly home deductions. I see a lot of people that work Linux and they work these jobs, and then part-time they cooking, part-time they doing other things, you know, and they're end of the year is they filing their taxes, they owing money in because they didn't pay enough in at work and they didn't make enough in their business at that moment. So not knowing if they had a home-based business, just, you know, utilizing what the RS allows them to write off the portion of the home. Yeah. The RS let them to write off the cell phone bill, the mileage, 67 cents a mile. Yeah. Write-off is what I got from here to Texas because I came here from the podcast. But I got kids and family here that I'm going to enjoy, but I was learning to just turn lifestyle into business the proper way. If I know that I want to go see my kids, If I don't got no business set up, I'm gonna set up something with Ricardo.
Right.
Then now that's gonna be the trip, and after I get deal with Ricardo, then I go see the kids.
Right.
So now I can go get the 67 cents a mile to write off.
Like you
property.
said, he said something that I've been talking about all day. I was like, Mom, I was talking to him, and this man said his whole life a write-off.
Okay.
I said, I'm trying to be like that to where my whole life is a write-off.
Yeah, and knowing where to write it off to pay. People say if you write your everything off, be careful you can't get nothing from the banks. Everything is levels.
Yeah.
Like how he spoke about assets, equity. See, when you got property and you got stuff like that and you taking write-offs, remember you don't technically need, you got assets. You know what I mean? Those are looked at, you know, when it comes, that comes the purchasing power and all of that. So when people say you shouldn't write off write-offs, you know, that it all depends on the level you in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What about student interest rate? Student loan interest rate. Can you write that off?
Well, it's
Because I went to college, I'm telling y'all.
not student loans.
It's hard out here.
Student loan, they give you 1098T.
Yeah.
Mostly in when it comes for the student loan and
Because Biden didn't, Biden didn't help a lot of people.
He ain't. That ain't. Nah, that's kind of like.
I think you can utilize that if you had like your own business and you went to school to learn something that your business offers.
Yeah,
That
if you're
makes
in that
sense.
field, like you,
That
because
makes sense.
the RS, you gotta kind of the RS allows you to do a lot of things, but they also have different things that kind of keeps you in a limit. For example. A lot of people say, hey, I'm going to start me a business so I can write my lifestyle off.
Yeah.
Depending on the business you start can determine if you can write your lifestyle off, because the RS says the write-offs must be common and necessary for that industry. So if you're in the hair business industry and then you saying, oh, I went and bought a car, I went and bought this and that, we ate steak at the
That ain't got nothing to do
That ain't
You
common.
ain't consulting nobody about no microburn.
No microburn.
And if you did do steak, is it common or necessary in that industry
No.
to give everybody a steak?
It's not. Like, she just being fancy.
So, and I think that's important for our culture to know, because when you watching the internet, you hear people say, get a business, write your whole lifestyle off.
Yeah.
But it is still type of guidelines that you must have to follow in. And one of those, that's why naming your business is important.
Yeah.
People think naming your business, like, I'm going to name my business such sexy reds, this and that. Then that's going to be a red flag to the bank.
Right, yeah.
If you name your, big J's, you know, this like it's and that's why when you hear businesses, they got incognito names. When you go downtown and look at these names, you be looking at it like, where they get these names?
Right.
That's why if you ask ChatGPT, you can say, create me 10, this is what I do, create me 10 business names.
Yeah.
For me to be eligible for funding.
Yeah.
And then you can say that, and it's going, and when you look at the names that it give you, you will realize, like, about big private companies called, you know what I mean, all of these Blackwood Hedge, all of these incognito names.
Yeah.
Because that's important. You know what I mean? You don't want to do, you don't want to label yourself to a certain corner.
Yeah.
What I mean is the banks got rules where, okay, real estate, this type of funding based off this. So if I say that I'm Letitia's hair service, then I already place myself in one category.
You gotta know how to
hair
play the
store.
game.
So if I keep an incognito name is if I'm Blackwood Ridge Enterprise. Now what the hell, that could be a whole, we can fall in any kind of category in for that.
You can't limit that.
Yeah, you can't limit that.
That's crazy.
So
Okay.
that brings me to a point to introduce my new business
Okay.
that I just opened, WealthLink National Enterprise
Yes,
Solutions. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, that business is basically based off affiliationships and partnerships. I partner with Walmart.
Okay.
Working on Apple and a couple other lenders and different things of that nature. Like he said, I'm trying to make everything in my life I can be compensated off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So even if somebody want to come borrow some money from me,
Right.
okay, now I'm not dipping in my pocket because y'all be doing too much.
And do.
You know what I'm saying?
And you do. I understand.
So now I'm partnering with the cash advance place. I'm gonna send you to that person. I'm gonna capitalize off of that. Walmart gives me an option of what products that I want to promote for them. Walmart gives me a kickback off of that, just being an influencer for them, and things of that nature. So lendership partner, I partner with them. Like I send my business people, they want to go get credit or loans to invest. Like, you go buy the property, now you can come to me and get the funding for the rehab of the property.
Wow.
And they're going to give me a percentage off of whatever
That's
they
awesome,
make
Ricardo.
off of that deal as well.
That's awesome. We gotta do another round of applause. Like, I love to see black men in these positions because I feel like this is where you all belong and this is where you all flourish. Now, I know we've spoken about, all of the knowledge that you all have attained over the years, but I feel like you all have significant people in your lives that also play a part in your success. Do you want to talk about those?
Shout out to my wife, Khadidra. I love you, baby.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, my wife has been my backbone over the years, and even now we're growing so fast we almost can't even keep up with it.
That's a great.
So we're both in some of the same fields. She's a registered nurse, but we both do real estate. We have a notary business. We got life insurance. We got a travel agent business, and she does taxes as well.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we'll be offering auto and home insurance and business insurance as well.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we got our hands dived in a lot of
Talk about
pots.
a power couple. Okay.
I told her when I met her that's what we was gonna be. I manifested it from day one.
Intentional. Okay. Yes. That's great. Come on, Waheen.
Man, okay. So let me get a shout out round of applause for Miss Ashley Thomas, the one and only.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely major part in a lot of my success moving forward since we've been together.
Yeah.
And what I learned when running a company, especially when it's hard to trust people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we're being able to trust, sometimes we have that significant other and we'll look past them and we'll be like, let's go do this with the boys.
And they the realest one in your corner.
And then, then it flop out with them and then they taking your ideas, run it off like they did the ideas.
You know how that goes. I understand that.
And Ashley, like I say, she been background. And again, this industry is new for her, so we was able to teach each other. Again, with me not computer savvy at the beginning when it's dealing with applications and stuff like that. You know how men let the girl, can you feel this out, baby? So with her doing a lot of things for her, ideas started going to college, went to college or whatever, it allowed when I see her doing something and showing me something, I'm always this competitive. And so it's like she trained me because it's like, oh, I can do it next time. I can do it. So just all that. And then dealing with like this taxes. We own a software company. And a tax company, so we own 3 tax companies, but we also provide tax software for tax companies and train EFIN holders and things how to run and scale their tax company. So Ashley actually handles our contractors that work within Partners Tech, doing things to keep the business rolling. So she have her morning meetings with them, and that was things that I used to do.
Yeah.
So having her to kind of get that off, it allows me to focus on other investments and other things to kind of, increase the family.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Money. Yeah. The legacy.
Legacy.
So would you all agree that that's a good source of stability for you all?
Oh yeah, man. I ain't no woman, man. I think a woman, even just with home, just I think we underrate. Sometimes we'll say a woman ain't bringing this to the table, and a man will say, I'm working hard, I'm working all these. Just being able to come home, man. I don't know if I'm getting older, but just being able to come home and having somebody that's making sure that the kid is good, making sure that the insurance and the taxes and property taxes and things are taken care of. And and what's wrong with you when you got a down day where I can tell you what's wrong to get it off of me. That all plays a vital role.
And that's important to your mental.
To be able to
and
go.
most of us are different. So of course I don't think like a woman, you don't think like a man most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people that don't have that mindset even for that's what creates a lot of arguments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just not thinking like I am.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to stop what you're doing, capitalize that, and understand that she has a good idea.
Yeah.
I have a good idea. Let's put these ideas together and create some lucrative stuff in our life. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's idea is better than another.
Once you start arguing, it's out the door.
Ain't nobody listening to nobody. Nobody listening.
Accountability. I think a lot of times, and I had to learn me personally, I used to find reasons why the other person was the problem or make it equal. Like it ain't gonna be me by myself. Right. I wouldn't have said this or did this if this wasn't. So just learning and just being able to be with people and that you can work on, y'all can work on each other. Yeah. By being able to overcome different things and create. I think that's what truly makes the power couple. You know what I mean? Being able to break the barriers outside of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Keep that bitterness away.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the money gonna come.
The money gonna come.
The
you
money
know what I
gonna
mean?
come.
And,
For sure.
and men, most of the time, we the problem.
Right.
We just don't.
We need to write this down with my pen.
Why you doing that part?
And I say that to say, based off me dealing with a lot of men and mentorships and hearing people's
He
situations.
is not pandering. He's
and
spitting
again,
the
though, I'm
truth.
with the men. And again, at first, I was against this years ago. And I thank God that I have finally understand because now I'm able to grow how I need to grow.
Yeah, he see
you
the
know what
light.
I mean? So, again, because men, we know we designed to lead and we need to lead. So we always got this thing, if we ain't where we supposed to be, we might not say it, but we got this extra attitude.
Yeah.
And this extra, you know what I mean, and then we know we supposed to be doing better. So if somebody try to help, especially if it's the girl at the minute, it's all over. It's always
It's that ego.
It's that ego.
Yeah.
And men, go ahead.
Because a lot of the times we done thought about something 100 times.
Right.
Time.
So
Yeah.
once we done thought about it 100 times, we feel like it ain't no other way. Like what you ain't talking about.
You ain't
nothing.
talking
Like,
about
I done
nothing
figured
new.
this
Right,
out.
yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have open ears and like
Yeah.
you said, accountability as well. When you do fall into that trap and you realize that you did something wrong, like you gotta help her to understand, like, hey, that was my fault.
Yeah.
And start over.
Yeah.
Even in my house, we have a 24-hour rule. If we can't talk about it right now, we're gonna wait 24 hours. We're gonna come back to it.
That's smart.
And we learned this will help us. I was watching because I always watch different documentaries and watch stuff, and I came up where it's like a negotiator. When a negotiator comes out, their job is not to focus on the person; it's to focus on the problem. If they come out and somebody got a weapon to somebody's head, the negotiator is called in to focus on the problem.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we know you got a gun to a head and that's illegal.
Yeah.
But it's what it has the problem that led you right here today to do this.
Right. Yeah.
Let's focus on that more so I can understand, and it actually diffuses the situation. And I use that in my relationship. I never focus on the person. I focus on the problem. Because when you focus on if you focus on the person, what happens is you can ruin the relationship.
Yeah.
Because now, because no one's focused on the problem.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's a problem that led us right here. But if I focus on you, then we ignoring the problem, and that's how we keep on going. So being able to focus on the problem and not the person allows us to not even argue and have a lot of different type of situations, because now we realize it's never the person.
Right.
It is what is the problem. Let's just like if she washing, and we know how girls is about cleaning, and I come in and I throw my shirt or something on the floor in the laundry room and not in the basket.
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying.
And then she come in and she
It's gonna be a
say,
conversation.
she come in and say, did you throw your shirt on the laundry room floor? And I'll be like, well, you know, now you came here, you know I'm the only person in here.
Yeah.
And you know
We
I'm
need that
But
confirmation.
the thing is, I'm like, hold on, Waheen.
Yeah.
You turn the attention to the person. The person came in here, but what's the problem?
That
What man
shirt
came
on
in
the
here?
floor.
You know the shirt don't go on the floor.
Yes.
So the problem is
The
that you
shirt on the
threw the shirt on the floor.
Exactly.
So how you do that is, I learned in that situation, if we had that situation now, I'm more like, did you put it? Oh, I'm sorry, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
I was finna say, now we still good.
Yeah.
The energy never go. It even gets better.
That's good.
So paying attention in a relationship to, instead of when you are, and another thing, listen to understand, not to respond.
Yeah.
Right.
Most relationships have a lot of issues, and that was my biggest problem. Once I was heated, you can talk, but I'm ready. I'm ready to respond.
Yeah.
So I ain't listening to nothing
Yeah.
you saying.
Defense.
When
Yeah.
you talking and somebody jumping, that means they're listening to respond.
Right.
Because you can't listen to understand without fully letting the
And
person
that
complete.
matters.
Right.
Communication
That
is key.
Communication.
If we can't communicate, we can't do nothing together.
Yeah. You got to do that, and understanding the other one's feeling. You know what I mean? Is you feel me? Sometimes it ain't your job, the man part, to be mad. Sometimes it's our time to recognize the woman feelings.
Yes.
And sometimes it's
Yeah.
when people talking, it's just good to just shut up.
and
When
we-
somebody
Yeah.
goes,
Sometimes you gotta be quiet.
You gotta
And
listen.
And we
gotta be
just
quiet.
different. Like,
Yeah.
I'm angry. 15 minutes, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's not women. That's not women. Like, get away from me.
72 hours. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I gotta think about it. I gotta journal. I gotta shower.
Yes.
Yeah, like real
and,
time.
and that's why it all still boils back to finances.
Finances,
Because
yep.
it's like, how when you in a relationship
Want something to eat?
and your finances is correct, that's how it goes. That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, you want something to
And
eat.
we into
Yeah.
it. And different thing is, or I can say, baby, this weekend you want to get a room, and then we can go out to eat and
You
all
can
that.
do more things.
We can do more
Yeah.
things, but
you cannot be
Yeah.
making me mad and you ain't got no money. Like what? So I'm just gonna be in here mad. Can't
Right.
go nowhere. He can't show me a good time. This ain't for me. I gotta go. Sorry,
Gotta
baby.
send it to the nail shop or something.
You gotta do something.
And people will hear that and they'll say, gold diggers or this and that, but let's be reality. We all have to understand this is, as parents, you want your daughter or your son to grow up and have somebody that cares for them, that's going to be there for them. And if things are bad, they going to make a way out of no way. That's what they
You don't
hope
want no
and pray.
continuous struggle.
Right.
So we think it's okay is, even with marriage, the worst thing that I ever seen in the black community, and me and God, I'll still be talking to him, because I know it ain't got nothing to do with him, that we'll go through anything with somebody just because of marriage.
Yeah.
Like, the church will tell you, fight for your marriage. He can be popping you upside your head. They gonna tell you to fight for your marriage.
Yeah.
You could be broke. The girl can have ambition.
Yeah.
Or the man, either one, to be and got a purpose.
Yeah.
But then just because you feel I'm married, you gonna stay right there.
Yeah.
We just gotta learn to understand that it's qualifications nowadays to be in a relationship.
Yep, it is.
If I'm a man and I ain't got no money, let me get myself together.
Yeah.
Because as a man, I should want to take care of my girl.
Yes.
Right.
Or at least be there to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So bad as I'm learning, as bad as I think a man should be, as bad as they like somebody, it's more of like, if you think a girl high quality, you want to treat her high quality.
Yeah.
So if you can't treat her high quality, why go get her a high quality? And then when she want high quality, now it's a problem.
Now she a gold digger.
But
How
even
about
though-
you just do equally yoked at your level?
Yeah, at the level. Yeah,
At
stay
your
on your.
level.
I'm trying
Stay
to
on
be
your
on your level. Some people wonder why the girl mad or the man mad. He'll be on Facebook
He done
popping
spent all his
that
money.
money and popping a new outfit, 100, 200 likes.
Yep.
And they knowing that ain't what it is with this. If you getting in it, like, take me out.
And you got to make sure, like, hitting on communication again, you got to make sure they're okay with coming to tell you things. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time they come to you, you not trying to be Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just getting on their nerves with all that. Sometimes they just need a spot to vent.
Yeah.
You know, but I also tell my wife, like, okay, you know, just always have that open communication. Because I say, even if I ain't got a solution for it, or don't know what to do about it, I said, at least I got something I can take to God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ooh,
Dope,
yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
They-
Look at these
Game time, no
religious,
lame time.
committed, grinding black men. I love to see it. How does someone remove inaccurate or outdated items from their credit report?
Okay, definitely. So basically the first step is understanding that simple process, how credit works. When you disputing things, the goal is, you're not saying, of course, most accounts that get removed is the person account.
Yeah.
So the thing is going through a compliancy process.
Yeah.
So credit bureaus must report 100% accurate information. So the goal is, what you're doing is making it harder for them to verify certain information. So one step, a lot of people will say that you just get you a template letter and you can dispute your own credit.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't work, because in that case, wouldn't nobody be repairing credit, because they
Right.
could just dispute. Because the problem is, we live in an AI world. Every letter that comes in from the credit bureaus is read by AI computer,
Yeah.
which allows it to know exactly when you got, say somebody using a software and everybody's sending template letters. That's why a lot of stuff don't get done, because the computer reading that, oh, this is a credit repair company.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Because you're not in their best interest. They get paid from the lenders. Lenders got to pay a subscription to be able to report, for them to report for them.
Yeah.
So meaning is, they're paying Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax to pull these reports.
Yeah.
So which is kind of like a bias system, because they in the favor of them.
Right.
So if you want to when you want to remove things off your credit, you got to look for inaccuracies.
Okay.
And to be honest, you just got to play the game like they play it. The
Yeah.
game is they finessing you.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, if a collection agency talking about you owe them, you got your phone from AT&T. If you got a phone, if your mama gave you a phone and said, pay me $10 a week on this phone, and you won't pay her, and then she turn around and call her friend and say, girl, go over there to the area house to get that money. I'm going to just charge it to the game.
Yeah.
And she come knock on your door, hey, I'm your mama friend. Remember that? You going to look at her like she crazy. It might get heated over there. but guess what? That's the same thing. That's the same thing they doing.
Yeah.
They write it off as a bad debt and say, here go the paperwork. And they come back and say, yeah, you owe AT&T this, or whatever the case may be. So you have to understand, sometimes people think just regular disputing is the way. No, sometimes you have to, if I know they got to report 100% accurate information, let's just say if I'm talking about a bankruptcy, child support, or something like that. Well, the law is credit bureaus got to report 100% accurate information. So I know that child support, even or bankruptcy, those are public records, which mean if somebody have a wreck, when you get hit from behind, all of the lawyers sending you the letters, you got to understand how they get my address. Because they pull that report out of public records. Just like a child support, just like a bankruptcy, those are filed in a court, which makes it public. So third-party entities pull this information, and so the credit bureaus have it pulled, so they get that and report it. So since it's already a direct violation, because since the courts didn't report it to them, but they saying that they verified it 100%. When you get a dispute letter out and they send you one back saying we verified it, the person just know that they got a bankruptcy on child support, so they be like, oh, they got me. Ain't nothing else I can do. But you got to understand how the compliance works. Who did you get this information from? So all is simple, just basically the rundown. If somebody's got a bankruptcy or child support on their credit, you dispute that credit, you dispute that. And when you dispute that, of course they gonna come back and say they verified it because they got it from public records. So if you gonna take that and you gonna hit the clerk, whatever county that bankruptcy or that child support came out of, not the child support people. They are child support enforcement, which means they just enforce it. When it comes to what you pay and how you pay, that's a judge does that inside of a courtroom, and a clerk files it. So the credit bureaus basically saying they got the information from the court clerk that said that, look, this person got a bankruptcy or this person got child support. Technically, they pulled it out of public records. So if I send a letter to the court and say, hey, I was just recently disputing my credit, you know what I mean? And I had got some stuff sent back saying they verified a bankruptcy through y'all court. Can you tell me what's y'all procedures on reporting my personal information to the credit bureaus? And then you make it an affidavit and notarize because it's like becomes a legal document. So they have to respond. So they respond back is we don't report to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So now I can pop my top, I can pop my stuff with Experian them like, look, player, I don't know.
Why y'all got my personal information out here embarrassing me in front of the community?
I don't know if somebody up here drinking on the job, but y'all sent this letter and said y'all verified it, but here go the folks saying they don't even mess with y'all.
That's the tea.
So at the end of the day, it's all process. That's why I say people do a disservice when they tell people, go do your own credit without properly giving them not knowing the knowledge and understanding how credit works. Because again, if that was so, that would have been so widespread that you don't need nobody. Everybody have a.
I'm telling you, I have an 800 credit score.
And the worst thing is different now. They don't keep up like Trump. He just shut down the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Okay, so what is that going to do?
That is they police financial institutions on making sure that they're in compliance, reporting correctly. When they do the child support report wrong or the bankruptcy, that's who you run to and tell on.
So everybody has to have everything wrong.
They get, when you do that complaint, they get gone. But now they shut down. So now it make it harder for some people in certain situations. So you definitely have to know the knowledge and understanding when it come to that. But it's a lot when it go to it.
Yes, that is. And that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's getting real out
He's
here.
taking away a lot of regulating departments.
And this what's going to make it harder for the black community, that thing that I see. And this is my opinion based off my knowledge. The CFPB protects consumers. They're the Consumer Protection Bureau, which means when somebody give you the loan, don't tell you something, and you saying y'all got over on me, that's who you go make the complaint to. So some companies can't operate because of the CFPB and the fear of getting sued. So what you're gonna see a lot of now in the black community is a lot of pay here, buy here, lots, cash loans, title loans. Because now they don't have to worry about that overseer that polices them. That somebody, of course, they got you got the Federal Trade Commission and all that. You still got those, but that's a big hit.
That is
in the credit repair industry for people that's especially doing their own credit, because it's like the song say, who you gonna run to? Who can you run to? You feel me?
I don't know. That's
even when
scary.
I'm dealing with my clients, like I explain some of that process to them as well, because when you go to a bank, it's federal regulated. So when I send them to a mortgage company, which I'll put it to an example like this. The bank is Bank America. The mortgage company might be Mortgage Financial Services. They don't deal with the banks or whatever, and which is consumer regulated, so it's more structured for the people. So I'd rather send you that way than actually send you for the bank that's actually, too many ties with the government for me. But and then hitting on the bankruptcy, some people don't like to always go through the credit repair process, or they don't even know how to get started, all that type of stuff, whatever the situation may be. Like even after a bankruptcy, 2 years, they give you time to get yourself back together, get your credit card so that you can manage some debt or whatever you need to do. And after 2 years, you can still purchase a home with an FHA loan. After 4 years, you can do a conventional loan. So they give you time, for like a conventional loan, you can do more with conventional loans. So they're going to make you wait more time before you can get approved for that loan.
Yeah.
So,
wow. And that's all after bankruptcy. So even if you file bankruptcy, it's not over, people.
Yes.
I don't want to have to. Lord, please keep me away. That's why I believe it's important to live beyond your means, like live below your means. Like I believe in living below my means.
You got to prioritize your money.
Gotta
Every dollar
prioritize your
that come
money.
in for me, 50% go to the side for main expenses. 20% for 30% for investment and 20% for miscellaneous spending. If that ain't enough for me to miscellaneous spend, then we turn it up a notch to get some more.
You said something that was that really struck me yesterday. You were like, Waheem the entrepreneur may make a certain amount of money, but Waheem the man only have a certain amount. Like you separate.
They separate, and that because we live in a world of capitalism. Actually, America is a business. People never look at it, but America is a piece of paper, articles of organization. That's why the IRS is structured in Puerto Rico, because it's the part of the organization that's not in the articles of organization, which make them exempt from them government laws such as taxes. So you have to ask yourself, why is the IRS that's enforcing all of the taxes ain't even paying no tax?
That's crazy.
You feel me? So
just collecting money.
And that's why when you come out the womb, when you as God made you, government won't go against God. They need to control you to make you freely, because you free.
Social Security
So
card.
when you come out, that's why you think they call a legal immigrant an alien. We all made by God, but it's so real in business with America. They say he a legal alien.
They a cutthroat.
So, because they have no social security number, which means they're not in they out of their work area. The America, you supposed to be on the clock. You know what I mean? Y'all riding the clock. Y'all get paid under the table.
Under the radar.
Exactly.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
and even business people that just first starting off, like if you lack discipline, structure your business to where you just paying yourself as an employee of your business. That's not really good on the tax side, the earned income side of things or whatever, but it will help you be more lucrative in your business because you're going to have to go to work now. For your business. You can't come home and be like, man, I'm finna sit down and watch Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Your money
you got to get on the clock for
real.
your business if you want to make some money.
And that's another thing. If you would go out here and I feel like that was what really put the battery in my back as far as like being like open to any type of entrepreneurship. If I'm going to go here and put so many hours, because nurses, we work 12-hour shifts. Like if I'm going to go in here and put 12-hour shifts in for somebody else and I'm expected to like abide in a professional way and do this and do that, I can do that for myself too. Like if you can work and build somebody else's dream, you need to also facilitate that same energy into building your own dream.
Amen.
Seriously. I have a question for you as far as life insurance. Tell us about that.
A lot of people sleep on life insurance. They don't want to talk about death. They don't want to imagine somebody. It's gonna happen
until you got that GoFundMe account.
It's gonna happen. We all are going to die. Have the conversation. There's different type of life insurance policies out there. If you have like a smaller budget, they have term life insurance. You might can get a 20-year. $500,000 policy for under $100, as long as your health is good. You know what I'm saying?
That's feasible.
Right. And then you have the IULs, which they're kind of structured off of you're putting part of your premium in, and then part of the other part of it goes into a product that they're capitalizing off for the stock market. So, but at the end of the day, you're gaining. Once the stock market is gaining, but you can't lose anything. So they have I think it's called a floor rate, is 0. So if the stock market not doing anything, or even if that stock drop, you're not losing anything out of your policy. But even people like, you have a newborn baby or whatever else, like a lot of people go through and let their kids don't have a college fund or anything set up for them when it's time for them to graduate high school. So you start that IUL when that child is born. Now, when they get ready to graduate high school, it's enough in that policy to fund their college, for them to go buy a house or buy a new car, because you don't want to go co-sign for them, do you? You know what I'm saying? So it's enough. It's enough in there for them to go do all of that stuff. And then turn around and they can go live their best life, have vacation, whatever.
Set them up early.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's important.
Thing. So, and the thing about the IULs, so you say you got $1 million policy, it takes a little while to build up cash value depending on how much you want to pull out. So some people do 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, depending on what you want to put out. But even on the investor side, they pull the money out. Let's say they pull $10,000 out of their IUL. That money does not, the money that has gained in that policy, you don't pay taxes on it. So they pull that money out. They might go get an investment property or something like that in that nature. It doesn't count against them. So your beneficiary, so if it was $1 million policy, they took out $10,000. Now you're at $990,000 instead of $1 million if they pass away.
Y'all better go get that.
But even if you can't get approved for a regular life insurance policy, we do have people out there that's sick, got cancer, diabetes, all the different kind of diseases and stuff out there. I also have a product just for a funeral, which can still leave your family something a little bit in their pockets or whatever. We do up to $35,000 policies for that. So if you have a serious health condition, we put people on what's called a modified insurance plan. So for that 2 years, you're still paying your premium, and their policy is actually still collecting value. So if something happens to you or you pass away before those 2 years, your family gets whatever you put into the policy. The company I'm with gives them 10% on top of that. Like, thank you for giving us your business or whatever else. And but even other than that, if you don't want a full life insurance policy, we got policy to take care of the funeral. You know, with you want 25,000, 10,000, 5,000, whatever you want to give your family help on the funeral, we got that in place as well. We got a company that we sign people up. So funeral homes won't take advantage of them as well. So when you in there vulnerable and kind of sad, whatever you're going through, you know, funeral homes try to grab that money out of you. You know what I'm saying? So we got a company that help you save money and on the from the tombstone to the casket, the flyer, whatever you want to pass, the obituaries. But they will try to take advantage of you.
If you in them streets, man, and you toting them pistols, and you doing, y'all need to get with Ricardo.
You need to get with Ricardo because I'm telling y'all, I'm tired of seeing fish fries, fundraisers, GoFundMe's. If you're able to allocate any type of money towards things like we said it previously that don't matter, you definitely need to be putting money into things that do matter, so that it's not a burden on your family. And that goes for anybody. Like everybody need life insurance. That's important.
And all our policies come with accidental death and stuff too. So I can't remember the amounts right now. I have to be looking at the paper. But it comes with it.
You need to hit them up.
It's only an extra $1.
That you can't add. It's not like, come on, that's like a fry at McDonald's. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. So I'm so happy that both of you all came on my platform. This has been an amazing experience. I know that y'all have a lot of notes because I have plenty of notes, like just written down. You guys putting us up on game. Waheem Woods, I appreciate you for coming. Financial educator. Thank you so much, Ricardo Tippett. All of their information will be posted so that you all can contact these men and get put up on game. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, the whole time we was on our Zoom meeting, I was like, oh, my God, y'all. Like, what's going on? Like, what's this? What's that? Like, seriously. Like, and they have so much game that it's not all going to be able to be put into one podcast. So they definitely coming back. You definitely going to get your points in your mouths. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you all so much. I hope that you left this podcast feeling enlightened, feeling knowledgeable on certain things that you weren't beforehand. I know I definitely am. Again, a big shout out to Waheem Woods and Ricardo Tippett. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day, busy schedules, to come to my podcast. I am so grateful. And I hope you guys have a great night.
Hey, thanks for having us. What time is it, bro?
Game time, no lane.
Game time, no lane time. Peace. Thank y'all so much.